Hey everybody, it's Valenie. I haven't done a video in a while, but I definitely wanted to do something, I guess. Sorry if I'm sniffing throughout this video. My allergies have gone haywire, as the world, I'm sure. So I sound like a crackhead right now. But anyways, this video I kind of wanted to do a little differently. Definitely talking about the paranormal, but more so talking about life after death. I haven't really seen much research or videos or EVPs done where you're conversing with spirits about where they are and what's life after death like. Is there a God? Da 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 da. I've never heard any dialogue like that. Well, um, if you've seen my previous videos, you've heard my story about, you know, um, us hearing my friend's fiance, the friend that I did paranormal investigations with, talking to a demon, conversing with a demon, or an evil entity, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It was something that was not of this world, and we heard it with our own ears. Um, just a short little recap. If you haven't watched my previous videos, pretty much we went out, we did some investigations, we came back, everyone was fairly inebriated, which, as you know, I believe being inebriated makes you more susceptible to possessions and things like that. I think that's why alcohol is called spirit. I don't know if there's any research on that or where that name came from, but that's what I believe. Um, anyways, we came back to the house, we listened to an EVP, and we heard some spirits talking, and one of them said, I don't want to tell them anything, and this is when we were trying to communicate with them. Um, so anyways, I was a little wasted that night. I ended up getting a little wasted. I've been possessed before at her house. I got possessed again by the same spirit that always seems to take over my body when I'm over there. And we had said a prayer that night a couple of times. It's Catholic prayer. I don't know if it's St. Michael or St. Paul, St. Peter. It was some sort of saint that you kind of call on to help you in situations where there's paranormal stuff going on or possessions or things that are messing with you or taking over. We pretty much called in that night to take care of us and protect us because we had gone to like 4 or 5 different places. Kind of scared about that. Anyways, we end up going somewhere into the room. We were all talking. Her boyfriend goes to the bathroom, goes out into the living room in the pitch black. We're the only three upstairs. He's talking to something. You just hear him talking. We kind of think, oh, he's drunk. What is he talking about? And then we hear a guttural response. It sounded very frightening. Um, Definitely demonic and evil. And we both, it wasn't like, oh, hey, did you hear that? It was kind of like we both went, because we both heard it at the exact same time, and we listened to it for a little bit, like, is this really happening, or are we hearing, a conversation? And we hear him yelling at it, saying, you leave them alone, you need to get out of this house, you don't bother them anymore, you don't talk to them anymore. So I call him, I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's talking to, but he needs to come back in the room. He comes back in the room, and he's like, hey guys, what's up? And we're like, what's up with you? Pretty much he acted all cool, calm, and collected, and like I said, I got possessed that night, and he was talking to me like you listen to the recording the next day, or I heard it the next day, and hear him pretty much telling whoever's possessing me, you get out of her, you don't do that. All entity spirits in this house, if you want to move on, you come to me. You don't deal with them anymore. Leave them alone. Um, Super crazy. Anyways, that's what happened that night, and that was just another situation that happened at our house where I was just like, okay, um, there has to be a God. I'm not really knocking anybody's religion or what anybody believes in, but I know there's a lot of people who would knock what I believe in. I have struggled with my faith. I have gone through, I believe in a higher power, to I don't believe in a higher power, to I believe in it and I hate that higher power, and back to I believe in it again. I've seen way too many miracles, not all related to paranormal investigations, just other situations, um, other cohorts of people that I've been with. I've heard way too many stories and seen way too many things to believe that there's nothing after we die. And as a matter of fact, of course, if you're watching this channel, you know I believe that there's a life after death. There's something after, our energy passes from this body. So one of my main questions is there a God? And I tend to believe there is. I don't necessarily know if it's the God that we read about in the Bible, and I definitely believe if the Bible is based on something that's true and Jesus was real or something like that, that man definitely put a lot of their beliefs in the Bible and they fucked it up. For one, there's concubines in the Bible, which is pretty much whores back in the day. And I really don't believe that that's one of God's, I don't know, things that he wanted for his people. Men should have many wives, and I believe that's sinner's bullshit, and that's man's bullshit. Man has a lot of balls and a lot of pride, and they tend to just fuck a lot of shit up. So I tend to filter a lot of stuff out in the Bible. If it is a true doctrine from way back when, from a higher power, I tend to have a pretty good knack for knowing what's bullshit and what's actually true. And when you look at the Bible, it's honestly like a book of morals, a book of how you should live your life and be a good person, and I think that's awesome. I'm not one of those people who gets a kick out of being a dick to other people, and I think that people like that are pieces of shit, quite frankly. I don't know. It always amazes me, the evil things that people will do. I mean, I saw something on TV today at a friend's house where, it was a cat channel, like a cat show. But this guy was in a wheelchair, he was on his laptop, he had a cat, and these boys jumped out of a van and tried to take his laptop from him. This guy was fighting with them, pulling on his laptop, and this cat jumped up and like clawed the shit out of these guys, and the guys ran away. I'm sorry, that story, it's kind of funny, but worse shit could have happened. I just find people like that absolutely revolting and disgusting, and it makes me sad that they're even alive. It's pathetic that somebody would try to steal something from somebody in a wheelchair. Just pathetic. So, anyways, I don't know. I kind of lost my point because I just went off on a tangent. I do that a lot. Anyways, so I tend to think that I do believe in God. I have friends that are atheists, and that's fine. You know, I really don't like to pass judgment on what other people's beliefs are, but I also don't like when people pass judgment on what I believe. And people who believe in something, a life after death, whether it's Christians or whatever, get a lot of shit from people. I've met a lot of atheists that are just like, they're just very, I'm smart and you're stupid and how could you believe that there's something after this? And I'm like, you know what? I've had proof given to me, and I know that there's something after this, whether there's a God or not. I can't 100% tell you that, but I can 100% tell people with full conviction that when you die, you're not just gonna die, your spirit's gonna go somewhere. So I don't know. And I kind of believe a lot of atheists have just had like fucked up shit happen to them, and that's why they believe that. I've had fucked up shit happen to me too, and that's why I think I've gone back and forth with my faith. So I don't know. There's a million other options to what can happen after you die. Maybe there's not a God, but even if there's not a God, I definitely know there's something that watches over you. I think I talked about having out of body experiences and knowing that a guardian was around me. When I've gotten out of my body, I mean, you can get stuck doing that. I don't know if the people who watch my channel really know about OBs or anything like that, but you can get stuck walking out of your body and walking around your house, walking around your neighborhood, walking in different countries. You can get stuck and not be able to get back to your body. I had something push me back into my body, and that was the last time that I had an OB, and I definitely felt like there was something watching over me. And some people claim to do it, and they can travel and all that kind of stuff, and I totally think that that's possible, and maybe that they're meant to do that, but I apparently wasn't. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about in this video. There's plenty of other things I could talk about as far as faith and things like that, but I kind of just wanted to express I do believe there's an afterlife, and I do believe we're going to go somewhere, and I don't know where or with who, but I know it's going to happen. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully.